Sunnyvale Planning and Zoning. Zachary, do you have attendance for everyone?
Are you asking who's in attendance?
I don't want to go through all the names. It seems like we should just, let's see, Mr. Moss is here. Don's here. Mr. Golder, Miss Burton, Miss Mitchell, Ted, Troy. Am I missing anyone?
I think you got everybody.
Great. So first item on the agenda is to hold a public hearing to discuss, consider, and act upon recommendations regarding an ordinance granting a specific use designation permit for allowing alcoholic beverage sales on a property zoned local retail, generally at 129 North Collins. It's a case 1678-SUD Settlers Table. So essentially, this is on pages 5 to 9 of our packet. It's a restaurant called Settlers Table applying for an SUD, which is the ability to sell alcoholic beverages. Zachary, are you going to introduce this topic?
Zach, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as Mr. Chairman just stated, this is for a specific use designation for the Settlers Table restaurant. Long story short, they are applying, we require an SUD to serve alcohol sales. They're currently in the process of trying to open, and before they want to open, they want to be able to obtain this and obtain the required state documentation. So it's pretty straightforward. They submitted their floor plans or landscape plans or site plans. Based on their adherence to all of the town regulations, staff recommends approval.
Thanks, Zach. Is the applicant here?
Hi there. Yes, we are here.
Oh, hi. How are you? If you would like to say anything, if you just state your name and address for the record, and then if you want to say a few words on the topic, it's pretty straightforward. You don't feel like you need to.
Yeah. This is Shayna Stigler. Also on the call are my parents, Cherry and Earl Stigler. The restaurant is in their name. Our address is, do you need the address of the restaurant or the home address?
Your address.
531 Larkin Road, Sunnyvale. And yeah, I mean, y'all pretty much summed it up. We are hoping to open in the first of the year, and as part of that, have a wine and beer bar as part of the restaurant. Yeah, any other info you need from us?
Commission, is there any questions for the applicant? I had one question. I'm not sure if this is more for Brenda, yourself, or Zach. Will you allow to go alcohol beverages or sell them to go?
So this is a permit for the sale of alcoholic beverages in connection with a food and beverage permit for on-premise consumption.
Okay, so
it doesn't allow you to take alcohol off premise.
Okay, I knew Brenda would have an answer for me. Great. I have no other questions. Commission, any other questions for the applicant? I know people think that's a weird question, but I ask because of the proximity to the park. Okay, I don't hear any. Ms. Stigler, I don't hear any questions from you, but I'm going to go ahead and open the public meeting since this is a public forum. Zachary, do you know if anyone's here to speak on this matter or to talk on this matter or has something to say?
There are no hands raised.
Okay, perfect.
I don't see anyone at this moment, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and close the public meeting then. And Commission, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. We've allowed SUDs in the past for alcohol. I think I wish them well opening the restaurant in the middle of this COVID crisis. I think if we can do something to support them, it'd be to allow them to sell wine. That seems reasonable. And unless there's thoughts, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve this request to sell alcohol and or wine and beer at this establishment.
Great. I have a motion by Mr. Moss.
I'll second the motion.
Then Mr. Boulder, second. All in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Stigler family, looks like you got your alcoholic sales.
Wahoo!
We wish you well.
Well, it's a recommendation.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So they have one more hurdle.
Yeah. Now you just have to go in front of the city council. The real, it's a real tough. They're the real decision makers.
And they got to deal with the state too.
Okay. Well, I'll wish you well with all those things. I think the city council will be a lot easier than the state. Great. Okay, moving along to item number 2 on our agenda. Discuss, consider, and act upon approval of the minutes for October 21, 23. That's our P and Z meeting on pages 10 to 12. Did everyone get a chance to review the minutes?
Thanks, man.
I think there's a little bit of noise. I'm not sure exactly whose mic's open, but
I've muted him.
good. That took care of that problem.
Yes.
It's great to have power, isn't it?
That'll serve you well, Don, for talking out of turn like that. Okay, the minutes. Back to the minutes. Anyone got any? Does anyone want to approve this or?
So, Mr. Chairman, if there are no comments on the minutes, one of the things that came up during the training session that we held on Monday was Commissioner Moss asked if I could, we talked about the concept of a consent agenda versus a regular agenda and how we could put things on consent. Frankly, the next 5 items could all go on consent. The minutes in particular, an item to go on consent, but the plats and the site plan are as well. So to answer your question, Commissioner Moss, the next 5 items could be eligible for a consent agenda if we wanted to consider that in the future.
Okay, perfect. So hearing that there's no concerns over consent agendas, I'd like to place the next five items on the consent agenda.
Well, so I will on the next meeting, or starting at the next meeting, I will start to put those things on a consent agenda. For this meeting, because they're posted separately, we do have to go through each of them individually.
You just dangled the carrot and took it away from us.
Next meeting.
You can blame me for that.
King.
Wanted to dry run.
That's okay. I think the consent agenda is a wonderful thing, and it's just one step closer to making us the most efficient meeting in Sunnyvale. And trust me, I've been to some inefficient meetings. Okay,
Hi
so
there. Sorry to butt in. This is Shayna Stigler again. Do I need to stay on this meeting or am I free to go?
You're free to go.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
let's go and listen.
Bye.
I thought so. Okay, back to minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the October 21st Planning and Zoning meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Troy. Motion?
I'll second.
Second. Ms. Mitchell's always good for the second. All in favor? Okay. Looks like that's anyone opposed to that in the minutes? Okay, that looks like that's unanimous. So let's move. I mean, these are items 3 is very, very straightforward. So it's discuss, consider, and act upon request to approve a final plat for 17.4 acres of the properties located near the southeast corner of Collins Road and Town East Boulevard. This is essentially the McGee Trace. And and it's I guess it's the person who wants to develop their land a little bit to make it a little bit easier to build some residential areas. Zach, are you going to introduce this topic?
So I'll step in and introduce
Can you
it.
hear me?
So this is the final plat. You all saw the preliminary plat at the last meeting. This is for approximately 17 acres at the southwest corner of Collins and Town East Boulevard. There's currently 5 lots on the property. 3 of them have residential development on them. The other 2 don't comply with the current zoning regulations. So this is just to plat all those properties to bring them into compliance so they can develop the last 2 parcels. Again, y'all saw the preliminary plat at the last meeting. That went to council, and council approved the preliminary plat. There's been no changes since that time. So it's effectively the same document that was approved last month.
Great. I'll go ahead and, for the spirit of opening a public meeting, I'll go ahead and do that. Seeing no hands are raised, if anyone would like to speak on this matter.
Well, and this is not,
It's not a
so
public hearing.
if, in order to be on the consent agenda, all of these items have no public hearing required.
Okay.
Where you are acting in a final manner, we probably, Charles, need to put a public comment section on. When a body is advisory only, the public comment section is not required. But where you are taking final action, the new statute in 2019 requires that you post for public comment. But aside from that, this item does not require a public hearing.
Brenda, historically, we have opened these up for public hearing. Should we not do that then going forward?
If it's on the consent agenda and someone wants to comment, they would be able to comment during the public comment section. I know Mayor George is one who always allows additional comment. That is not typically done. There's no prohibition against it, but it's not typically done.
So today, for example, should I not open a public hearing?
It is not a public hearing.
Perfect. Commission, any thoughts on the item? This is item on the agenda. If there's no thoughts, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Perfect. I have a motion.
Second.
I have multiple second motions.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I did.
Don.
Don.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, if you could repeat the motion in the second, who made it, that'd be great.
Mr. Klein and Ms. Mitchell, I think, had her hand up.
All right.
Is that right, Sarah?
Yeah, that's right.
I think a couple people did, but I mean, I'll just choose you.
It's my role.
It is your role. Okay, all in favor. Is there anyone opposed to this agenda item? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Discuss and consider and act upon a recommendation regarding a replat for 2 lots totaling 2.054 acres located generally at Collins and US Highway 80. And that's on pages 16 to 18 of our packet. If any, Zachary, is this going to be you again? Or Charles?
Zach, are you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've been having a few problems with being able to mute and unmute here. Anyway, in regard to this item, this is a very, very simple replat. It's along Long Creek Crossing, which is right off of US Highway 80 and Collins Road. To give you an idea, it's kind of where the Panda Express is located. This is for 2 plots of land. They initially had a plat that was approved by P&Z, and now they just want to do a replat. All they're doing is moving the lot line a few feet over to the right. Very, very straightforward. It based on engineering input and staff input. It falls in line with all of our requirements, and staff would recommend approval on it.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Zach. Commission, any thoughts on this?
Just curious why moving that line over just slightly. Is there something in the way or any reason given? Doesn't really matter. Just curious.
You guys know why they want to move the line?
Yeah, so as they have been laying out potential development on these properties, they have a potential user. They're not ready to announce yet, but just to work their site plan how they want it, they just need to adjust the property line slightly.
Sounds good.
Any other thoughts, comments, concerns, questions?
This is Drew with Claymore Engineering. I'm the applicant. Just here for any questions in case you might have any. That explanation was 100% on point.
Drew, do you want to disclose the secret entity that wants to purchase or no?
Our user will be Starbucks.
Wow.
And we are planning on submitting our site plan package on the next available submittal date.
I had my first Starbucks Thanksgiving Christmas drink today, so it's good to know I'll be able to spend my sales tax dollars in Sunnyvale.
They have started their holiday blend, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
We lose John.
I think we did.
Okay. I just really, everything changed up. The
Yeah.
screen changed up and he doesn't appear to be here anymore.
Correct. So if the vice chair wants to.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah. Do we want to wait or
Oh my
want
God.
me to jump in? There he is. Okay.
I can't believe I missed all that conversation about the, did I miss any divulging?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
Freeze
no.
up before that actually happened.
He did divulge.
Oh
Hey,
my gosh.
I'm sorry, Drew, I missed all that.
Well, it's classified now.
Yeah, I don't think we can say it again.
Can you believe it
It's not
happened
public
at the same
record.
time I lost my connection? I'll just read it in the minutes going forward. It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody
We're
put him
on
out of
behalf
his
of-
misery.
All right. Starbucks.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Hmm.
Does anyone have any thoughts or questions on this agenda item? It sounds like they want to fix some lines and it sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Hearing no comments or questions, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, motion to approve.
Thank you. I think
Second.
that was Lisa, and Lisa and Sarah both like coffee apparently. So the motion by
Yes.
Lisa and Sarah they want coffee apparently. So they all in favor of.
Coffee.
Of coffee.
Great. It looks like everyone is willing to have them move some lines to have their $12 cup of Starbucks.
Hmm.
Okay. I think we're on to the next item. That's
Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
Oh, Drew, thank you so much.
Thank you, Drew.
Drew, thank you for divulging that. We'll keep it secret. No, I'm sure no one's watching this anyway. So
Yeah, this won't be in the minutes or anything.
yeah, we'll have it redacted, and I'm sure that Ted can do some FBI stuff to it. And
Thank you. Y'all have a great evening.
yeah, you
You
be
too.
safe. Thank you. No, it's pretty neat.
Hmm.
Okay, so item number 5, I think we're on. Oh, maybe. Yes, 5, I think we're on. Discuss and consider, no, yes. Discuss, consider, and act upon a recommendation regarding a minor plat for 2 lots totaling 36.626 acres located at the southeast corner of Planters Road and US Highway 80. And this is for our Planters Road Distribution Center. This is pages 19 to 21 in our packet. Zachary, can you talk us through this one?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is in regard to the development. If you guys remember a few meetings back, we approved a zoning change through the PNZ and also through council to create this warehouse distribution center down there on Planters Road. So this is a plot related to that. They want to develop the 2 lots for the purpose of constructing buildings for the industrial warehouse and distribution site. Based on the requirements, the land use requirements, and all the town requirements that we have, staff has reviewed this and staff recommends approval.
Great. For the commission, I'd like to call the use of both Zachary and Jeff using the term ministerial in regards to the towns. That sounds like an SAT word, but it's used appropriately here. So I'm sure that you guys appreciate that. Any thoughts or questions, concerns on the Planters Road idea? Again, it's pretty straightforward and fits in guidelines. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Great. Ms. Mitchell's.
Second.
And then Mr. Moss.
That was Hagan, right?
I think it was Ms. Mitchell.
Oh, Miss Mitchell.
Yes, it was me.
Because I know it's sometimes she's a second, but also she does the first sometimes.
I'm getting crazy
She's got
tonight.
big plans tonight.
That's right.
Okay, all in favor?
And who was the second? I'm sorry.
Moss.
Okay, good.
Okay, all in favor for
That motion carried unanimously.
great, perfect. My internet is very sketchy today. This is the last item on our agenda. Discuss and consider an act upon a recommendation regarding the site plan for the property zoned plan development located on the southeast corner of Planters Road. It's essentially agenda item number 6. Zachary?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So this here is for the site plan related to this last development on Planters Road. Again, we approved the zoning change for it. It was ultimately approved by Town Council on October 26th. This is a site plan for the warehouse and distribution facility use. It falls in line with all of our requirements based on administrative review. Everything's in line, and staff would recommend approval on this as well.
Great. Any concerns, questions from the commission? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Great. And that's Ms. Burton for the motion.
Second.
Don for the second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Great. That looks like it's unanimous as well. So the last item on our agenda is we need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Charles, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
So when we go to the consent agenda, would we still be able to get information like we did about the applicant that just is divulged the Starbucks information?
So if you have questions about a particular item on the consent agenda, you can always pull that item to ask questions about it. So if that was on the consent and you wanted to pull that to ask the question of why they were moving the lot line, you could do so. So that doesn't preclude you from asking questions.
Okay. But would the applicant, so but because they didn't want it, that was some pretty juicy information to get that you wouldn't potentially get in the future, just kind of without, I mean, you're not going to know, hey, let's pull this item because they have a business coming, but they don't want to really discuss it. But without knowing it was there to discuss, he wouldn't just give that information up, had that question not been asked.
That's true.
I'm just throwing that out there
Well,
for that. But
I
I'm totally on board with the consent agenda.
I think we'll survive. I mean, not that I don't love, but we'll survive not knowing for now, because I think eventually it'll come out. And
It sounds like with this, it's coming out next month. So, I mean, it sounds like it was going to be on the agendas specifically next month. At least that's what I understood. So, yeah, a little delay, but we'll know eventually.
I'm still all for the consent agenda.
Oh, I am too.
Same.
We'll try it out, and if we're having issues, we can always readjust later.
Okay, great. Thanks, Charles. And I know that you all met. Any thought on becoming a non-virtual meeting? Was that discussed?
That wasn't discussed in the meeting. However, I think with COVID numbers going up again, I think we should probably play this pretty conservatively. And I know there are some that I've talked to one-on-one that have concerns about meeting in person. So I'd suggest we continue to meet virtually.
Okay. I'll see you all next month. I just need a motion for adjournment. Oh, thank you all for your time. I know it's not that fun on Wednesday night to hang out with me and our fellows.
One quick question, Charles. You talked about moving the start time up also.
Right. I'm going to circle back with everyone I haven't had that discussion with in the rest of my one-on-one meetings, and I'll come back to that.
Like 5:30 a.m. or something?
Not that early.
Okay.
Regarding the issue about who it was, Starbucks or whatever, remember, right, Brenda, consider the use, not the user.
Yes.
And if there's
Don,
no
I
other,
had to ask because like the Chick-fil-A thing, it's just in line with what you have to do. I mean, you have to ask.
yeah, and I've been meaning to ask, what's up with Chick-fil-A? Where are they? What are they?
We're better off not knowing.
Yes. So if there's no other business or discussion, I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Thanks, Don.
I'll second.
Thanks, Sarah. All in favor? Seeing no one's opposed to the adjournment of this meeting, we'll all see you all next month.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to
Thanksgiving.
each of you.
Happy Thanksgiving all. Good night.
Night.